Here are some genuinely mind-boggling facts and thought experiments about Santa Claus. The logistics are physically insane. If 2 billion children celebrate Christmas and Santa visits each home in one night, he'd have roughly 1/1000th of a second per household. Traveling between homes would require moving at about 3,000 times the speed of sound, at which point the aerodynamic force on his sleigh would vaporize it and him instantly. The reindeer weight problem. Assuming an average gift weight of 2 lbs per child, Santa's sleigh would carry over 300,000 tons of toys. That would require approximately 200,000 reindeer just to pull it, which would themselves weigh more than the gifts. Santa is technically older than the universe, by some myths. Some interpretations of Santa's origins tie him to ancient Nordic and Siberian shamanic figures who predate recorded history. The idea of a gift-giving sky figure may be tens of thousands of years old. The coal economy. If Santa gives coal to every naughty child, and even 1% of children are naughty, he'd distribute millions of tons of coal per year, making him simultaneously the world's largest gift giver and one of its largest fossil fuel distributors. Time zone exploitation. Santa actually has about 31 hours to work with, not 24. If he travels east to west and exploits time zones intelligently, this is the one logistical fact that slightly helps his case. The immortality question. Santa is depicted as an elderly man who has existed for centuries. This implies either extreme longevity, magical regeneration, or that Santa is a title passed down, making him less a person and more an institution. Everyone agrees on his address. The United Nations, Canada, NORAD, and Finland all have semi-official stances on where Santa lives. Canada even issued Santa a Canadian postal code, HOH0H0, so children's letters could be officially delivered. Want me to go deeper on any of these? The physics one especially goes down a wild rabbit hole. Physics of Santa Claus, a deep dive. The delivery problem. There are roughly 700 million homes that celebrate Christmas. Spread across 31 hours using time zones, Santa has about 1/60th of a second per household, including landing, dismounting, going down the chimney, placing gifts, eating cookies, going back up, and taking off. For context, a human eye blink takes 400 milliseconds. Santa's entire visit would occur 2.4 million times in a single blink. The speed problem. The distance between homes averages roughly 1.5 kilometers globally. Covering 700 million homes means traveling about 1 billion kilometers in one night. That's 9,000 kilometers per second, or about 3% the speed of light. At that speed, time dilation kicks in, Einstein's special relativity. Time would actually slow down for Santa, meaning he might experience the night completely normally, but everyone on Earth would age slightly faster relative to him. This is the one scenario where physics accidentally makes Santa's journey more plausible. The heat problem. At 9,000 kilometers/s, air resistance would generate temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. The sleigh would not just burn, it would explode into plasma within milliseconds of takeoff. For Santa to survive, he'd need a material more heat-resistant than anything humans have ever created. Or he moves through some mechanism that bypasses air friction entirely, like a localized warp bubble, which is, fascinatingly, a real theoretical physics concept proposed by physicist Miguel Alcubierre in 1994. The weight and force problem. 700 million homes times average, 2-3 lbs of gifts equals roughly 1 million tons on the sleigh. At the acceleration needed to travel between homes in 1/60th of a second, the G-force on Santa would be approximately 17 million Gs. For reference, fighter pilots black out at 9 Gs. The human body structurally fails at around 100 Gs. Santa would need to be made of something denser and stronger than neutron star material to survive. The energy problem. The kinetic energy of a 1 million ton sleigh moving at 3% the speed of light is roughly E equals 1 m/s squared. That comes out to approximately 10 squared joules, roughly the same energy as the entire sun puts out in 1 week. Santa's cookies would need to be extraordinarily calorie-dense. The quantum loophole. Here's where it gets truly mind-bending. Some physicists have half-jokingly half seriously proposed that Santa operates on quantum mechanical principles. Quantum tunneling. Particles can pass through walls without breaking them. Santa could theoretically tunnel through chimneys without needing them to be open. Quantum superposition. Santa could exist in all locations simultaneously until observed, collapsing into a single location only when a child is definitely asleep. This would explain why no one ever sees him. Many worlds interpretation. In an infinite multiverse, there is some universe where Santa successfully delivers all gifts. We simply happen to live in that one. The conclusion. The only physically coherent version of Santa requires him to 1. Manipulate space-time, Alcubierre warp drive. 2. Exist in quantum superposition. 3. Be composed of matter we have never observed. 4. Harness energy equivalent to a small star. In other words, Santa isn't magic. He's just a sufficiently advanced physicist. As Arthur C. Clarke said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.